Hello, everyone. It's Heath West here at our second Treasure Coast Songwriters Festival with Brinley, Addington. It's your first Treasure Coast
My first time, and it's been great.
Thank you for coming and enduring the rain, the humidity, a little bit of heat. It's
basic
fun, right?
Florida
it's
trip.
Florida, exactly. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
We heard a story. Of course, you got a number one, Ryan Hurd, Maren Morris, chasing after you. I kind of talked to some other songwriters who said there's kind of an unwritten rule that you don't find out when someone has it on hold because you never know if it's going to go through. But you knew that that song had been on hold by several different artists, right?
Yeah, just at the time, and it's different every time, you know, whether you know somebody has something on hold or not. But just that time, like, we were very excited because, you know, the first hold was Keith Urban, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, that's obviously a very big deal. And but so we got excited about that, and there were a couple others in between. But, you know, Ryan himself had it on hold for 3 years, and he cut it a couple different ways, like versions. There was a version without Maren, there was another version with Maren. There's like, never mind, let's not do that. I'm like, no, that sounds like like we didn't know we wrote it as a duet, but it ended up being perfect that way.
It sounded great.
It was a bit of an emotional roller coaster, but we always believed that song was special, and I know Ryan did too. So it was very special. I've known Ryan since college, so it was
really?
It was a very special.
Yes.
Like, they took me along for the ride. That whole thing, like, here we're going to do this, we're going to play on the ACMs, and we're going to do this, and it was just, I mean, the whole thing was just
He is
very
country
special.
music's Kurt Cobain, I think.
He's one of the
got
best.
the look.
He does. He has the look, and he is one of the best songwriters in Nashville.
Absolutely,
I
yes.
stand by it. Like, if he ever decided he didn't want to be on the road or whatever, like, I think he's got, and I know he's got a lot more of that to go, but he's one of the best writers I've ever been in the room with. He's a very brilliant lyricist.
You were talking about that song was recorded a couple different times by Ryan alone.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a song that you sent off and someone, took it and they say, we're going to cut this song? You're like, yes. And then you hear the final product. I don't want to put you on the spot. But you're like, wow, they really went a different direction with that song, with the production.
Yes, it did. Yes.
It's happened.
That's about as far as, but at the same time, he's like, well, that's not what I would have done with it.
But it's the interpretation.
That's the beautiful thing about handing it off, and like, everybody being an individual artist or a songwriter or, that kind of thing. The time that happened to me, and it was completely different than how we did our little demo of the song. It was like, man, I wouldn't have taken it that way, but it was still really cool, and it was very unique, and it wasn't a bad thing at all. It just absolutely just wasn't like, oh, that was just the opposite of what I thought. So I don't know. You get dreams in your head, and you just allow yourself to think that, but. It was always, anytime anybody wants to cut one of mine, I'm excited. Y'all do whatever you want with it, So,
take it to number one,
yeah,
please.
There you go. Run it up there.
Sell 1 million copies if you don't
the
mind.
bell.
Can we talk about your Tennessee Volunteers for real quick?
We can.
And how they lost to my Georgia Bulldogs last year?
Well, I'd rather talk about how we beat Alabama. But we after that, I'm like, you know what? I don't care.
The season is complete.
Yeah,
you beat Alabama.
We did everybody a favor. We put the SEC on our backs, and we defeated the evil empire that is down in Tuscaloosa, they whom we do not speak of. But yeah, we're going to have a little bit more for y'all this year. Y'all graduate a lot of people, and
Georgia has to go to Tennessee this year.
Oh yeah, you're going to be at our house, and it's going to. I don't think it's going to go as good for y'all this year. I'm
really?
putting it out.
Are
there.
we laying the gauntlet?
Yeah,
down right now?
No, we can make a
tough,
bet.
man.
We'll do it off camera, but we'll make a sizable bet about that. I feel pretty good about it.
One more question. That beard is amazing. How long? Is that like you grow it in a week, or is that like months?
Man, I sneezed on the way over here, and this happened. I shaved this morning. I don't. So I moved to Nashville to be an artist, and I kept it pretty clean for that whole thing. And the moment I decided I was going to take a break or move away from being an artist and be just a songwriter, and like I was like, I'm just going to let it go. And this took not like. The Addingtons are a hairy people. Okay. You can go back in our generation, our lineage, and you can look and you're like, oh, he's from all those places. Yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, for me, it was just like I was just going to let it go for a little while now. Like, man, I saved so much money on razors.
Exactly.
I can't go back now. So
yeah, this is my COVID beard. This is as far as it's
but it looks good.
So far.
You got it clean, and the lines are great.
3 years.
It's a science. You can't just go into it blind. You got to know what you're doing.
Say.
I still it's either me or Jordan Davis with the best beard.
That's
in country
true.
music.
That's true. Jordan.
I've got to say,
Jordan's
got a solid beard, and he had it down almost Amish length. And but sorry if well, they're not going to see this anyway. So anyway, Jordan's got one of the best beards in the business, and I like to just, if I could be podium, I think second or third would be great.
I don't know. It's very full on the sides where Jordan's isn't. I think. I mean, his is long, but we're talking about beards right now.
I saw him not long ago, and he maintains his.
Oh,
well.
he does. Okay.
Yeah, he's got the budget though. I don't have that really built into my contracts or anything, but Jordan's got a healthy beard budget. Google that. Y'all will want to know about it.
It's Brinley, Addington, and this is our second Treasure Coast Songwriters Festival. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.